Hello everybody. In this video, we are going to discuss about how to handle the errors which are there in Power Query. As you know, once you get the data from, and when we transform the data using transform data in Power Query, and once we close and apply the Power Query, the unhandled data, unhandled errors will be shown in a format in a form window like this. You will be able to see how many rows are there in which table it is. So we will see how that kind of errors can be handled today, and we will be using an expression which is called try, and we will use it for creating a custom column. So we'll start with this. In Power Query, you can encounter two types of errors. One is step level errors and another one is cell level errors. Today we are going to deal with cell level error. Step level error will be the mishandling of data set, or whether a data set will be mismatched or data set will not be there. The path won't be correct. All those comes under step level error. But we are going to check about cell level error. The cell level error won't prevent the query from loading but displays errors value as error in the cell. That means, okay, whatever error is there in the cells, we are going to detect. Selecting the white space in the cell displays error pane underneath the data preview. So when we see an error message in a cell, if you click on that cell, you will get an error message down. At the same time, you can use the data profiling tool. It can help you find more easily identify cell level errors with column quantity fields. In the view, in transform data, there will be an option called data profiling. You can select it so that you can see the cells correctly whether it is having errors. Only issue is that it will slow up the process, all the processes, because every time it will be checking the errors. So as an example, we will try to get one data. We will get this data and we will transform the data and see whether error is there, and if error is there. So we have a table called sales details, and of course, when we see the details itself in the order date, the date is not correctly given. It is 2019 and I have written is 219, and moreover the data type is mismatched here, so we can change the data type. If we change the data type to date, we will see everything, whatever it is written not as date will be showed as an error. We have seen now one error. We have seen there will be some more errors. There are certain ways that we can change this error. One way is that, okay, you can remove the error, just go to remove rows and remove the errors. But once you remove the error, the entire data of that row will be gone. Another way is you can find out the error and you can replace it with the value which you know. So this error, of course, we know it is based upon this. Okay, if you are finding these kind of errors, you can just go to transform option and you can replace the values. Okay, you can view this value, replace option, and you can view the this error and you can give the exact value. But there are some times when we won't be able to know the correct value. So we won't be able to remove the row, or we won't be able to replace the value. That kind of time we can use the exception handling, which we are going to discuss today. We have talked about profiling when we were discussing earlier. And to get the profiling, you can go to view option. You can give column quality, and you can give the profile, column profile and column distribution. Here you will be able to find out, okay, the how the data is distributed in the column correctly. Even you can find out the errors if it is there, but here the errors are not shown. There are certain errors which won't be able to, it won't be able to find out until and unless you will, when you close and apply, give the close and apply option. We'll do one thing, we will close and apply, then we will see whether the error is coming. So we closed and applied to see whether the error was showing. Yeah, yes, the errors got shown correctly. So when Power BI started loading the entire row set, we got lots of errors. You have the option to view the errors, but right now we are not going to view the errors. We are going to do the exception handling for the errors. So you can close it and you can go to the transform data once again. Of course, we are sure that, okay, in this, okay, right now, when you check on this table, you can find out almost all the columns are error percentage is 0%, and in this order date error percentage is greater than 1%. So we can make out, okay, in this column errors are there. You can keep the sales details like that in the original table, and you can take a copy of it through reference, and you can give it as, or you can keep it as simple sales details itself. Yeah. And you can take one more reference of that original table, and you can keep it as sales error table. So now actually we are having three tables, and this sales details original is not needed. So you can disable the unload option. So now we have sales details and sales error details. In sales details, what we can do is you can select on this column which is having the error, and you can remove the errors. So whichever rows they were having errors, everything has been removed. The entire row has been removed. So we won't know. So that means the entire row with the other data is also removed. This sales error details table is used to keep the error details only. So you can go to keep rows. You can select this column. You can go to keep rows, and you can select keep errors. So you got 6 errors from that original table. So in this sales details, you are having a table without any error, and in this sales error details, you have a table with full of errors. And if you select the cells, you will know the error details. Right now, anyway, we wanted to load this table also, but with this error, we won't be able to load the table. So we can write a custom column here, add custom column. And in this custom column, we can give a formula called try. Try is used in almost all the programming languages. So you can use this try, and you can get the date. Date is the column just having error. So you can select the order date, and you can click OK. Another column got created, and it is having two values. One is having hash error, and other one is having the error details. If you click here also, you can see hash error. Of course, when a column is having error, the hash error will be true, and the error will be is in the record, and you have to get the error details. So in this options, you just need to get the error. And now if you click on the cell, you will be getting the error message. We couldn't pass the input provided as a data value. But we need this message in the column, then one day we can show to the client, okay, this is the problem with the data set. So what we can do is that we can expand this column. In this, when you expand this column, we are having the recent message and the detail. So you can select OK. And we are getting all the error messages with respect to that column. So this was the column which was having the error, and we are getting the error details in this column. Of course, since we are having this column, we don't want this error column, because if this error column is there, we won't be able to completely apply and close this transform data. So you can remove this column. So once you remove this column, everything will be fine. No errors will be there in any of the columns. And of course, we got 3 more columns with respect to the error details. Now you can close and apply. So now we got 2 tables. One is having the error table, one is having the correct details. If you see the model, of course, one is the sales details without any errors. The other one is the sales details with all the errors. So we are having 2 tables. So in the visual pane, you can select the sales details table. You can go to multi-row card. You can get the unit price. You can get the number of orders, and of course the discount. And you can show these kind of. At the same time, you can show the error details also. You can get the card, and you can give this order ID, how many count, and you can give it, you can take the title and you can show it as count of errors. You can show it as count of errors, how many errors in the data set, how many rows of errors were there in that data set. And then you can use a table and you can give the details of the errors also. You can give the error message, then the error reason, and then the error detail also. Even if you want, you can give the order ID also. If you give the order ID or if you give the product ID, they can change it in their database so that the next time when it gets refreshed, everything will be proper. So in this way, we can do the exception handling through in Power Query, and you can use that handling, visualize it and show to the client and get rectified. Hope this video will be useful. Have a nice day. Thank you.